Hello, good morning, everyone. So, today we're going to talk about GitHub Authenticator as well as we're going to push some of the code into the GitHub and we will study about the PKI infrastructure. How we're going to generate the public and private key to avoid user and password or access token again and again for the access. So I'm going to sign in. I have my user account. So you should use the user email here or username. So I'm using the username. Which email supposed to use? Let me show you. This is the important point. You should not use any else other things. Suppose let me go to the my Git folder, and there you have to check the command git config user email. This email mm, supposed to be there, not a different email. If you have different emails, so please change either here, because this says who you are to GitHub, and that going to be sync up. Don't use here is different email is going on, there is different same email. Okay, this part I have clear. Now instead of that email, I used user names, user accounts name, and then you followed the password. So if you have not enable two-way authentic means two-factor authentication, incorrect password. Okay, this page will not pop up. You have to use the two-factor authentication. This is the industrial level of practice. Then this page will. Then you have to download your authenticator app from the um, Play. What you say, Google Play or
Play Store.
a Play Store? Yes. So for a Play Store, and you have to scan your account. There is an option I will show you just now. So I'm going to open my authenticator. There is a pop, the 6 digit going to pop off there. Automatic, they keep on popping up, and you have to use that. This is going to be verifying those keys and it process. Where do you see that part? You have to go to your account profile. You can see you have to explore these options. So let's go for the profile and go to the edit profile, and you can see that your go to edit profile is and the logging users repository project upgrade setting. Go to setting, then go for account. So you can see down of your account accessibility, password authentication. Yes. So here in password authentication, you have old and you can change your password. Second, you can see two-factor authentication is enabled. Okay. So here you have to enable two-factor authentication, and this will give you the list where from which IP you are accessing. Last the session they will give you. You can change two-factor authentication. There is a recovery option. They will give you the password for the recovery. You have to store back those, and primary method. So you have to select which method you are looking. There is a different method, but I use the authenticator app. So from Play Store, you have to download the authenticator app and enable. Once you enable, they will pop up. Okay, clear guys this part?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
now come to the profile. So you can see you can update your profile photos, and you please explore those things. That's That's the normal stuff. And to whom you follow. So I follows, you can see, I follow Hans Pristons from Cisco system. He developing the code, and this is very good person who has hell number of what you can say examples for Python and DevOps and other things. So you can also do that. I will, and while we will study, we will use his code, his reference things, so many. And the Cisco DevNet and the part, you can also be like that, like a Git. This is a very good in future. Everyone going to use this stuff this way. Okay, and I'm not so active. I recently started. Now come to, this is the Ansible code. These are the tested one. Earlier we have done for just for creating the stuff. Here we have Ansible and one repository we have created. This is which we pull the data from our system to here. Okay, but we have total 4 repositories, you can see. So one, we have created repo on the, okay, please go through the previous video, and I already show you how to create new code from here and these two options. Okay, this is part clear. So let's suppose we have already code available. We studied Ansible, so many lab we have done. So I'm going to back to my Ansible days, and I'm going to open the code Ansible what we have done. So let's open this, and we are in here now our Ansible code profile. So where we are, if you are able to clone, you can see in your system also we are here. Git logs, how many commits I have done that. So git commit, sorry, log, and I'm going to see one liner. Okay, you can see I have done this many development. So first, empty playbooks. If you remember Ansible playbook, we started the class from empty playbook. Then we saw how to add the each and everything we have done. Okay, so I introduced with the connection type, local versus network CLI. This way we're going to study. So right now, let's quickly. I already explained you in the previous last videos. You please go through those. What do you mean by main, what do you mean by remotes, and remote shows you who, what remotes means, who are available on your remotes, what is available on remotes, who is your, so GitHub is my remote. So like git, I'm going to see remotes, means it will show you simply the origin, means I given the remotes name as origin. If you want to see other features, so you do verbs, what is called verbs. So what do you mean by origin? Origin stands for just is a name, because I don't want to write this big name. So instead of this big name, this is the simply origin. Okay, so this is simply origin. Origin is your remote, means you can see one file or commit which is one branch which is associated with your remotes. Okay, and then in remote we have main. So this remote is origin, and my local is main. You can see this is the main file. Okay, so I'm going to put some, let me check my config first. Git config, clear this thing. Git config list, I'm going to list everything is configured here, even code is configured. So I'm going to code dot, so you can see the Visual Studio Code is open, and my commits on it. So I want to put new code on developing while we're going to study. So I want to show you how you can quick compare and everything available in single file system. So next code we have, we studied this part, We already studied, we know that. Next development in the code, we had this. So I want this to keep, means I want to test for the array, if you remember. Okay, so previous class we have done. I don't want to do testing right now because we are going to concentrate on only the code part. So I'm going to copy this. Okay, and I'm going to paste here on this. So let's I'm going to paste here. So, and I will delete the, I have changed this many stuff. Okay, what is persistent? I don't want complete, I want out one. So I have changed so many stuff into the file. I removed the complete old one and the complete one. Sorry, which one I took? Okay, down to remove this, delete this. Okay, this is my, this, delete this. Now, so my file is completely changed with the content. I'm going to save this. Just I will amend the output later on so that you're going to see. So we can edit these files anytime, whenever in future we required. So my programming completely, my code is completely changed. So I'm going to save. So you can see this file will come into the untracked. So git status earlier was showing clean, but now it's showing means modify untracked. So also, do we lost previous one? No, we did not lost. You can, you want to compare previous what we had, what now we have, just you do git diff, because we have untracked file here. So I can do git diff, one single command will give you the flavor, the previous commit what we had, and now what we changed, this many things are changed. So green, or you can see the comments, and these are the things added. Greens are plus symbols, you can see. And the another is called red one. So this is first gas symbol is a minus, red one is minus, these are the removed. So your code is changed now. So now I'm
One
going
question.
to git add this file, and I will go for the commit. And what we have done in this commit, let's, and what we have done in commit, if you see in the code what we have done, we have done the Jinja template we introduce here. See the output Jinja template, inventory, host name, the automatic going to take, and we define the array. We define the array, if you remember. So, so I'm going to write introduce Jinja template, Jinja template, and array. Okay, and that's, we have GOs. So this is the atomic commit, because what specific we have done. Now if you see the git log, you can see we have new commit. But the one thing you have to observe, your origin with the remote associated main is on the previous commit, and we have new commit. My local main, my local master, or you can say main, is ahead of the remote one, because remote one by commit, remote one not going to update it, my local system. So you just developed your code, you test your code, then add your code and commit your code till commit. your code will be within your system. Okay, it's not went into the.
Ashway, one question.
Yes.
Okay, so when we compare this, go to this that template, that YAML template. No, no, that YAML template, the coding one.
Okay, coding one. Yes, fine.
Okay, so in this coding one, we can see we have only one code is written, right? So
Yes.
for comparison, we need two code. So between them, we can compare. So one is this. So second one is consider itself the previous commit we did, and this is the second one. So comparison
Okay,
is
okay,
between
Git.
these two.
Yeah, I got your question. Okay, Git diff when you do the if you do you have any untracked file that going to be compared with the latest commit. Okay,
Okay. Mhm.
okay, and
Yeah, understood.
I already explained you if Git stash that's a huge. Suppose you want to compare with this commit and this commit, or in this commit, or these two commit you want to compare. How do you do that? So
Cache
you have git diff, and I teach you head, you use head
tilde.
tilde -1 means it will not take this, it will take this, and -2 this one I want -3, between minus tilde 1 and tilde 3 I want, because you can use here tilde because this is a very less number of this. If you don't have, then you have to use the hash mechanism for difference. You can see this is the difference between those two. So in that
Yeah.
file we studied what, we studied about the connection type and play and pray recap how it's showing. So there is row command. So each and every time what we have studied, what is the development of the my code, you check it out. And if you have multiple, suppose you have hundreds of git log one liner, suppose 100 of this, so you can't use the head tilde 1 or 3 or 2. You can use the hash value, like you can do git diff with the hash value. Just copy this, I want this to compare. What is it compares? Take first one, copy this just over here, and then paste, then followed by the next one. So you can compare in, when you have, sorry, when you have multiple, means hundred of git logs of file versions, you can compare with the hash with that. So you have, what we have done, we have added the host name here. The host name and gather facts are not there. Basic and earlier recap. Okay,
And we can
so
also use other
yes.
flavor of diff in this format, like kdiff. Suppose if we use git kdiff,
No, no,
and we
kdiff. This is this is a Git. You can use. You can't use kdiff. Kdiff for the normal two file system when you do the pre-post.
oh,
That's for
okay,
Linux.
understand. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
this
yeah,
in
understand. Yeah. Mhm.
that's completely different.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine. So come back to now original. We have to push, and the we going to today we going to see what authentication part when we go. So we have git commit, git log one liner. I will do. I have. How do you know what is left? What you will need to push in the GitHub? You can see your system is ahead from your remotes. Can you see, guys? So
Yeah.
means you need to
Yeah.
push this one local commit to your original one. Means on your remote. So this is my remote. You see, I'm going to click this Ansible. This is our my code. This, yeah. So you can see there is a 7 commits. Okay, and this was 7 days ago. Okay, and you can click here, you can see this is file. This was this file talking about the persistency and the network CLI. Okay, I was talking about. So if I will push from here, it's going to start. So my authentication. So which authentication going to ask? So this authentication is different from what you have authentication for logging to this website. So you have logged in this website, okay, but this system going to ask the authentication. So you have to use the user and password. Let's do that. Okay, I'm going to do the first git push, and who is my origin? So, so sorry, who is my remote? So origin is my remote, and local is my main. So I just enter. They will pop up with the username. I'm going to pass my username, and so once they will ask password, if you give the password, they will not accept because they stop these mechanisms. You so suppose I'm going to give the password, going to use my password, and what I found, the given the remote support password authentication removed on August 30, 13th. You have to use the personal access token. You have to generate personal access. Please go through the previous video. I already showed how to generate the personal token bid access. Sorry, personal access token. So I'm going to use, instead of password, I'm going to use the personal access token. So here I have already have, this is, I'm going to copy that and password. So you can see as soon as we paste the personal access token, the uploaded my file uploaded. Let's go to the GitHub and explore this. I'm going to refresh this. So once refresh, you can see the 8 minutes ago something happened. What the new code we have, Jinja 2 template we have. And if you go to the here, instead of 7 commits, you have 8 commit, and when you have commit. Please go through the previous video here you already discussed. Today we will concentrate on what, guys? What we concentrate on? The
Tokens.
authentication. Whenever I don't want, whenever I will post again and again, they will ask me them this username and token. So every day, suppose I'm keep on coding and I'm giving them, what do you say? The username password is irritating. So we want to do the private public key. So let's concentrate. So I'm going to cover that this topic, public private key structure topic. Okay, bye bye. See you.